Yo, what is up, my fiends? We got some special games for you. It might just be 3 replays, but they might be little bit longer. You might have seen that long one coming up after this one, but we have a nice and special Lair of Darkness Bystials video, just like last time, except the deck is a little bit more optimized and has actually been giving me some really extremely humoring, just down to my core. Really enjoy playing this deck. For those of you who don't know, I might have mentioned this in a previous video. I actually really got into competitive like when the Lair Darkness structure decks kind of came out. I was playing before. I went to a regional with fucking Red Eyes, but this is when I know actually I'm gonna go to locals every week. Was when I bought 3 of that deck, and yeah, Skill Drain's a hell of a card. Not really showing how good this deck is. This deck wouldn't have gone that crazy besides banishing Dimension Shifter, right? That's the only light that they'll have. But I'm this is I don't feel bad at all, right? This is a floodgate JPEG fucking deck that they have over here with fluke cards. I kind of forget about my own skill drain, or maybe I purposely do that to bait out any effects. Who knows? Who knows? But I got a super poly, bro. It's so over. It's so over. Yeah, he didn't know what I had face down. If he was gonna start tributing. If he somehow got a way to out or evenly match my board, I was gonna just hold on to Super Poly and just call it a day. It wasn't even gonna be close. So that was a short one. This one should also be another shorter one, moderately sized replay for you guys. Hopefully this will showcase more of what this deck does. But essentially, there's a lot of synergy between tributing for cost from Lair of Darkness. If you don't know, I guess maybe that last game would have been a good time to talk about it, but all face-up monsters on the field become dark. It's almost like a zombie world, but not quite, where it has this effect. It doesn't affect the grave, but once per turn, you could tribute a monster from your opponent's side of the field to activate one of these effects. So that could be this guy. He's an example. Lilith, Lady of Lament is another popular example. I don't run her in this build, but so are some other quick effect tribute cards. We'll let this play out for now. But essentially, always the thing that struggles the most with this deck is the draw. Oh yeah, and then Super Poly just goes ham, right? If everything is dark on the field, well, guess what? It's very easy to get the Triff out. At the very least, the Starving Venom. It can't be tokens, so it can't be your own little tokens that generate from this at the end phase. It generates tokens depending on how many were tributed, and it's mandatory. So even if it was on your opponent's turn, oh yeah, get fucked, kid. I just instantly banished Calbeck. And then Shadow is still 2 things that go absolutely fucking batshit nuts on his field. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror and fucking Super Poly with Lair of Darkness. It's so insane. It's crazy how good this is against this meta right now. So he has to heartbeat that. There's no option about that. If he wants to keep playing, he has to do that. And I have another Bystial just banished one. There's so much synergy in this deck with tributing, with Lubellion, and all of them. It's just super nice. And there's the Magnamut could also search any type of dragon, so it could search out Diabolos, which is the boss monster of Lair of Darkness, which I just run the one. You don't ever really want to run more than one, because he's relatively easy to get out if you draw into him or if he gets milled. So here, they're going to instantly do this. Here I misplay. I should have just gone into Triff with this Super Poly. So I should have just done these 3 into Triff, but instead of the Starving Venom, because he's still going to be able to get his plays off the shuffle and oh, here's a fucking dumbass, Kaleido Heart, Kit Kalos, and then Kit gets him to go into the Kaleido Heart. I'm pretty sure, yeah. And then Kaleido Heart's going to target one, so we're going to target each other. I'm going to tribute the guy that got flipped face down to banish this one. I still attack, free attack, it is what it is. And I tribute out for Lubellion, because I figured this is going to be really strong for me to just start maybe drawing off of this. I figured they weren't going to do shit with one card in their hand. But yeah, that was a misplay. If I would have just done Triff, that for sure locked the game down. Not even close. So let's get into an even more egregious showcase of what this deck can do. This is going to borderline fucking boring probably for you guys, but this was, I can't describe how fun this was to play a control deck. I mean, obviously you see all my decks. I play Rika, Rika has parts of it that are control with the very similar to their field. That's why I like Rika so much, because tributing your opponent's monsters for cost will never not be fun. It's just always going to be goated. And yeah, just like literally, like they can't do nothing. It's not like you're playing like skill drain. I am in this deck. It's at 1, whatever. I'm playing like super poly and fucking shadow prismatic mirror. It's so fun. It's so fun. So typically my game plan is draw super poly. So that's check 1. Draw shadow and prismatic mirror. That's step 2. So I'm still gonna be able to activate my Bystial effects from hand. So this won't really affect too much besides when Magnamut hits the field. But I figured I should try to stop him from doing what he wants to do. I don't think he understands how this card works. Actually, I'm going to stop pausing this one. You guys saw, this is like a 20-turn game. Spoiler alert. Yeah, he just is like trying to flood the board with a bunch of shit. Now when they have 3 cards in hand, super poly time. Let's go, Triff. So that's a moment where I seize the opportunity to make Triff. I can't Serenade because the my own Shadow Prismatic Mirror feels bad. But hey, it shuts his deck down far, far more than it does to mine. Yeah, Drew Swarm will also not work. So, yeah, Lubellion is a hell of a card. I can't beat over it. I think in retrospect, I probably should have just super polyed. Because now I can't super poly pitch this Magnamut. That was like the biggest misplay. Was like I should have just super polyed the Lubellion and this, my Magnamut. Or like the token in this. Oh no, I couldn't have done a Starving Venom unless I would have had to do my own guy again, my own Triff. So it's tough. I guess here I do it. Oh yeah, I could have Starving Venomed. I couldn't have. Wait, sorry. Because I didn't have enough cards to pitch. Getting the Magnamut out. Yeah, it is what it is. Now I have it, so whatever. Point being, I have the board I want. But then he gets Branded Regain. I'm like, oh my fucking god. He's just going to try to link off into a high enough monster to get the Lubellion out. So draw a card. Yeah, this Regained, if you guys don't think Regained's a crazy card, this will literally showcase that. So because of Lubellion, he's able to search out a Bystial. So he's able to get this guy out. And he's getting the full value out of this fucking Regained. Because he wouldn't have been able to activate it because of Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, the Lubellion effect, I mean. So yeah, he's getting a lot on top of my tokens. Because he's tributing monsters like every turn. So it's like it just kind of really feels fucking terrible. At least the good thing is that he's not getting his Drew Swarm effects off. So it doesn't feel like as bad. So he is low, right? Like he's dummy fucking low. 400. I'm like, okay, I'm close. Like I got this. I just need like maybe like one more super poly and I'm like GG. Like this is good. Even though I already used 2 of them. And he fucking has a sickest call by of 2023. I'm like, oh my god. Okay, he's able to plus off of that, negate my Lubellion effect. That would have like changed the pace of the game, right? Because if I had my own branded, I would have started plussing while he was also plussing. But I get this guy. And this was a risky play. I thought about this for a little bit. I'm like, this is super, super risky. But I feel like long term, this wins me the match. So, point is, I want Diablos out, not for his effect, but just the tribute for cost, like I said. I want that every turn while I'm also beating over a monster. So I could just, like... And I could also flood the board with my own tokens. So when I flood this board out, I won't be special summoning or summoning at all. And then, so this... like Branded Regain effect won't be proccing to get another monster on board. But yeah, he is, yeah, a lot of my guys are getting banished. I don't have any more Darks and Gray besides Triff, which I'm sure he'll get into. And for some reason he doesn't attack. I think this was a big, big misplay, I think, on my opponent's part. He should have attacked the Chaos Ruler into my Diabolos. I don't know why. Maybe he thought it couldn't be destroyed. But that was a huge misplay. The whole entire tide of this game could have been changed. So I tribute that off for sure. Hit the Druid's Worm. Chilling. Right? I finally get the Branded Regain. I'm like, okay, whatever. If I don't get Lubellion, it's whatever. I fled the board. That's the last time they're going to revive pretty much off of my board. Like, my board is full now. I know I said I wouldn't pause, and I kept fucking pausing. So, yeah. They're getting a lot on their board. But we're chilling. We're chilling. So I'm going to tribute. Oh yeah, and they also proc off of me giving them tokens, which like feels extra bad. Like I really wish Lair Darkness's end effect wasn't mandatory. Like I literally have to give them tokens when they tribute. So if they have a Lubellion, they're gonna be able to do that. If they're not able to get the the dragons out on the field to be able to tribute that card. And so they're smart. They're trying to Chaos Ruler just to get that out. And then they have a fucking Ash that I can't draw off of their draw. I can't negate because essentially I would shuffle it back for them so they wouldn't get the draw off of Branded Regain. So they like kind of have to Ash that, but it still just feels bad. So I double tribute. He's gonna fucking maxi, of course. Why don't we? You know? But at least I have 2 attacking monsters now. This match was literally an hour long. This was literally an hour-long match, and I was chilling. Like, I was straight just like, fuck it. Like, I was having a good time. I was listening to my jams. I was just, you know what I mean? I was just getting in it. The other Ash. So I cannot plus off of this. I'm like, okay, I doubt they have the 3rd Ash in hand, right? They don't have that many cards in deck left, but Serenir. I'm like, okay, this is the last Lubellion that they're going to be able to get out. And then I have to give them the Lair Darkness, but their board is full now. So it won't proc one more Bystial getting on board with the Regained. So tribute my own guy, tribute their guy. Now I can attack in a 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm slowly getting rid of my tokens. Let's fucking go, right? This is it. Like, I'm pretty sure next turn is like game. Like, it has to be GG. It just has to be GG. So now they're going to try to Chaos Ruler again so they could draw one. Now I could finally Branded Regained. Yay, I hope my Imperm was worth it after 21 turns. So I think they are a gentleman, and they let me just kind of fucking game the shit out of them. 1, and then Lubellion. Oh, and I BM a little bit. I just show them the because you got it. After you stun on someone, you win the game after the full fucking hour. Yeah, I don't know how this is going to translate into a video. I'm sorry, guys. This is boring as shit. But I just had to get it out there. I love this deck, and you'll see more of it. I've been playing some more of it on and off when I may or may not have been demoting after playing some Labyrinth and very high diamond. No spoiler alert, don't look up here. But anyway, stay fiending, motherfuckers. I'll catch you around.